And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Green Bay Packers. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
They run here with Rico Dowdle. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Throw right side taken by Sanders. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
A running play. It's Dowdle. Down at the 35. It'll be second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down and 6 now. Here's Dalton. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up fourth down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And his kick is good. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
So now after the field goal, Fitzgerald back out there to send this one away. Well, now how about this return? And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get first downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to have a Packers first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it, and were able to keep the drive moving.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing.
The pressure gets to Love, and he'll go down. Corner blitz that time by J.C. Horn, and he got home and dropped it. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
And he's going to go down again. A'Shawn Robinson. He's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Now make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Hubbard. Gets past one man. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
They'll find McMillan here. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
A gain of 4 yards. That's good for a Panthers first down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the run, it's Dowdle. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Dalton. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's good play. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. And he is going to have a Panthers first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
Oh, I sure wish we'd been out on the sideline to hear the calls go in for the formation groupings. Because I know offense was screaming heavy set and defense was screaming goal line. And look at them going at it there. And guess what? The O-line got the leverage and won that battle.
Yeah, they did. 3rd and short, you're right. Both sides brought the power there. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
2nd and 5. Here's Dalton. To the left side, he's got McMillan. Touchdown, Carolina! A big play there. 46 yards. As his guys are able to extend their lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. They'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 8. This to Jacobs on the toss right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Well, the pressure gets to Love, and he'll go down. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Carolina offense about ready to go. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he sidestepped one man, but reinforcements come to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Dalton off play action. To the right side, hauled in by McMillan. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A gain of 15 yards.
A busy first quarter. His third catch of the afternoon is a first down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
They run here with Dalton. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Great stop by Devontae Wyatt, breaking through the line and stopping it cold.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now Dalton. He gets this one to Hubbard, complete.
Dalton's pass complete to Chuba Hubbard. A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
$10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. So Dalton now. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy league.
Is that what they call
the receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah.
Oh.
And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
2nd and 10. They go bootleg. Love. Eyes the crossing route and hits Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
Play action this time with Love. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 33-yard line.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
That's a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Working out of the gun. Love. He's airing it out for Williams. That's caught inside the 20. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there. 62 yards. And the Packers are back within a score. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. On 1st down, they'll start out with Hubbard. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get him done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Now a 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
A good scheme and an early win for this pass rush. They got back there before he could work through his entire progression and ended that play early.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Oh, look at the juke. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board. And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 3. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 13 yards, 1st down Packers. Defensively, they were in the 3-4, and that O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has the 2 defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them. That creates a natural bubble inside where they sprint upfield, take on the inside linebackers. If the back hits it fast enough, there should be space to run.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it 2nd down. Jacobs going to try the middle. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here. And a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley. When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Throwing, Love. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers have taken the lead.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well that they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Dalton. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt. The defense, they brought the house. That O-line, they were overwhelmed.
To put it mildly, because they didn't have enough bodies to block all the guys that came at them. Their best move, how they would have been better served, just turn around and yell, "Look out!" because here they come.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Dalton. Under pressure, they got him again. Micah Parsons in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Fair catch.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now the Packers get set to go. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here.
Brings up
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes,
50-yard
you're able to
line.
hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
9 yards.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play. Move on.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Love now. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd down.
An 8-yard gain brings up 2nd down at the 43-yard line.
Now Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. So the completion good for 7 there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They will throw again here with Jordan Love. Right side to Watson. And he is going to have a Packers first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Second down, Jacobs once more. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 51 yards rushing for him now in the ballgame.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half, now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Here's Jacobs from the gun. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
It's 4th down.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. The kick by McManus is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the 2 teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Dalton now to pass. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
Play fake. Here's Dalton. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Passing, it's Dalton. This is caught by McMillan. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Third down.
Here's 3rd and 3.
Andy Dalton. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout.
That's good.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Panther first down.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. To throw here, Dalton. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Give him 4 yards there, and that should be the final play of this first half.
6 at the Packers' 47-yard line.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. One touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
His first catch of this 3rd quarter, he had 7 in the first half. It's also a first down.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Well, the pressure gets to Love, and he'll go down. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Love. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Love will sneak it. And he's going to have the Packers first down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. Still going inside the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. So naturally, they will decline it. They got the first down anyway on the play.
Who needs a penalty when you picked up the first down through hard work and effort anyway? First down.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Josh Jacobs taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead is up to 14.
Makes the score Packers 24, Panthers 10.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And it winds up a terrific return, but markers are down. And this is going to come all the way back. The holding penalty and negates a good return as they'll start just past the 20. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And Dalton to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Tershawn Wharton able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
To throw now. Here's Love. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
From the 21, here's 2nd down and 7.
Play action now. Dalton. Under pressure, and down he goes. With Sean Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Here's Dalton.
To the right side, hauled in by McMillan. And his bid for the 1st down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
128 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
From the 17, here's 2nd and 4. Love fires that quickly outside. No gain on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. He caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And he's going to have a Packers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Josh Jacobs, he scored on the ground and through the air. And the Packers take a 3-touchdown lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now it's starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. 3rd quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10.
Now Dalton.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. So Dalton now.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Throwing, Dalton. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right back to him for 10 more and a first.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Dalton off play action.
That one complete to Ligon.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 41-yard line.
Here's Dalton. Now he'll tuck this and run. He'll wind up getting full there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
On 3rd down, here's a run by Hubbard. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Here's Sam Martin now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game, yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end. Here's Love. Over the middle, he's got Golden. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a 1st down. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame him?
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll go as a gain of 4. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
A 2-yard pickup.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The Packers on 3rd down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 8. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. Able to slither by. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Dalton. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Dalton. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result.
Micah Parsons in there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both first and second down.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Micah Parsons. That's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up 4th down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, it's hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Love looking to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. This from 44 yards out, left hash. The kick by McManus is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. And last time went for it on 4th, didn't get it. Let's see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And onto the field, here come the Panthers.
At their own 27-yard line.
Dalton and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. The tight end in motion right. They'll start this drive out on the ground. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They run again with Dowdle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Dalton with a quick throw out wide. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Pick up with 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line.
Passing, it's Dalton. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Dalton now to pass. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 45-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Andy Dalton to the left side. He's got McMillan. And he's got this down to the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. But this game well in hand. Perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.